It's star 1978, star 8378. I'm thinking, I'm reflecting. Today's September 11th, 2022. Looking around. I'm listening to the news. Today there's a Zion's having a family or a church gathering, which we will be going to regular service and then staying to partake in whatever community, which we haven't met yet, that exists here. This is the flag. Yesterday, I'm wearing this shirt, came to me from my Zia, my Ada. There's a company on the back, it says National. She made sure when I went to visit her just recently in Maryland, that she gave me this, and the tag, the label says National on it. She being in a place of, she's not, I heard the other day there's a place in Florida called The Villages. Don't know anything about it. But then there's also a place with one of those big globes called Leisure World. So, first time I had ever been there. I don't know Piccadilly, what that's all about, but I heard it's a London reference. So I'm here in New York 21 years after the towers got hit, 22 years after my stomach was carved open while I slept, my legs, my region where I was not able to sit or lay down. It was hard to stand up as well because of the weight of the child that I was carrying, and the almost looked like tiger claws is what I called it, but for less of a dramatic flair, it looked more like the vents up, like vented, or gills almost. I'm a Leo. I'm not a Pisces. Yesterday we went to Vanderbilt, went to the Eagle's Nest as a tie-in for where I was growing up, or where I was, whatever. Before the Glen, we were forced out of the Glen and back into the bay, on land, for Woodland and Lake Town, so they're clear. I saw on the Vanderbilt Planetarium their palatial cornucopia of words. They have a different constellation system. I did not know. Instead of using the bull and the Tau, or the Taurus, and this matador effigy, they use this different system I did not know existed. When they brought up the astrological timing mechanic, Linda's symbolic whatever was two fish. Poisson, pêche, italiano pêche, en français, poisson. In English, it's fish. I did not know. I've always just assumed she was the Taurus. I don't know why. But they're saying it's Pisces. I did not know there was a difference. But the zodiac in that type of zodiac lines up with the monthly words of Avril. and Janvier being, or January being the Aquarius. Although they did not mention Aquarius, they only mentioned the Pisces being the Taurus layover, which linguistically I didn't realize that there were two sets of information on that, adding to the confusion in this area. I'm looking at my area and zone of New York in the United States territory, which goes by this pattern, and how they've been hurt. There's arson. They had a thing that there was arsenic found in the New Amsterdam area, which is now called Manhattan. I found that out at Vanderbilt yesterday. My thing is if Vanderbilt had so much money, where did it all go? What happened? Like, these are the things that they don't mention. Now I'm looking at my face and it looks like cirrhosis or some form of HEPA, or hepatic. There was mentioned that there was arsenic in the water. Then a couple of days later, they said there's no arsenic in the water. I have stippling on the skin surface. It looks, there's trouble healing. Out of nowhere, there's a yellowing of the skin. There's this foggy confusion going on that when I was drinking bottled water, I feel like I was getting a little bit better. I don't know if the nanometrics were less carcinogenic, not sure. But now Linda has refused to buy me water again, so now I'm back to tap water. And there's this oily consistency. I look at my gums and they're this weird purpley red. There's other signs of, I don't want to go into hospital matters or language for defecating purposes, but it just doesn't smell right. It's some form of, even when, like when people get certain cancers, the blood doesn't smell right. There's signs that there's something internally going on in some kind of biotoxin. I don't know what it is. I don't have the testing capabilities, and I don't have people who are honest or the information in this area. The woman who gave me this shirt is now suffering from cancer, went into her bones. So I heard I have a problem with my left hip that I'm concerned about. She, of course, is well into her 90s. I being chronologically 40s. So I'm thinking of the terrorist attack that happened here. I'm also listening to words. Queen Elizabeth passed away. Now there's some ascension. These are the words that they use in a different pattern. Here they're using those words, but to reference a different, they call it a Union Jack. He's in some place called St. James, which of course is supplant in other things. I see two of his children are not holding hands. I see the other two children holding hands. I think the one that looks like the President Biden and Kamala Harris relationship is Harry and Meghan for their set of circumstances. I have a situation that went on here, which I didn't realize. I did not know the word. I've seen the word Commonwealth on street signs. In my real estate career, had one person. She was the plant from somebody else's garden that was here when I arrived, and she's pretty much stayed, conveniently calls on me, it seems, for her purpose, and vice versa. So that person married somebody with the name Thomas. That's for Clapham, St. Mary's, my contact. that I have flour that I'm holding for life. They were in the same building. I was not there. Um, well, this person that was in the building, in his yearbook most likely, um, contacted me in my career of real estate and wanted to purchase something called Commonwealth, and it had a thrice in front of it. I had no idea what it meant. I just thought she wanted to purchase a house. I did not realize the address was significant. Um, Same goes for a different Zhao, with Park, who was the seller to something looking more familial. That was an inverse relationship of whatever, but there was law involved. Just I was not practicing it. Um, and there was very little discussed about it was just transactional. So this Commonwealth, they were married and they looked very Meghan Harry in their relationship. Just so it's crystal clear, I was on the fence about what this now knowing, looking at September 11th, knowing how I'm being poisoned or biotoxined in a really dangerous way, knowing how my children were taken from my person, knowing how I've been carved up while I've been here, forced into these transactions that I didn't know what their modus operandi was, and just trying to survive, quite frankly, amongst the North Americans in whatever's going on, in invasions and in these quiet, insidious ways for what, and whom, I don't know. Um, so I'm listening to Charles Stanley this morning, and he's the In Touch minister, and he put on a segment about the God, or the God's in charge of your safety and whatever, and not to deny if you need to step up, um, in order to have this participation with God in your own safety. Um, so I took that to heart. Um, in Charles St. James Suplant, whatever, um, I noticed they use this word Commonwealth. They're using a lot of words that I've never heard before. They didn't teach them here. They didn't speak of them here. Um, Again, I don't know if the wars are at crown level, crown, Crown, and woodlands not being spoken to properly, or brought into a conversation in order to even protect oneself. This gets confusing. I don't know how Lake Town is involved, or Oceanic, whichever. I mean, again, I'm going off of the prowess or the verbal cues that Tolkien's tokens used at Hobbit with the desolation of smog. Um, so I'm watching how the New Yorkers were in pain and how they've been suffering health wise and what's been going on for them, um, in this Remembrance Day. And then I'm watching this whatever elsewhere and listening to the language that they're using. I'm then, of course, in the local area, noticing the health deteriorating. Um, and I am just trying to, I don't know. I wanted to show some clips on the. And then there's somebody by the name of Luke Evans who's in some movie, Pinocchio. He said that he's in charge and he's an ambassador for some princess trust I never heard of. Again, with whatever's going on and with the bloodline that they forced upon me for the set of fruit that I had not intended. Um, there's a lot going on in the background. Then there's this piece where both Jason 1976 and Anthony 1975 are Catholic. I'm not. Lewis was or is Roman Catholic. I'm something else. And so that seems to be a problem with the pursuit of happiness and with being hunted by the Catholics in this area, considering they both wanted to marry me for some reason. I have no idea why. I not wanting either one of them, but neither one of them would listen when I warned them actively to stay away. I was not interested, not in marriage, not in bed, not in fruit, not in anything, not in a relationship. So here we are. And then the Commonwealth at some point sold again and asked me to be part of that, to Morning Glory. Whatever that means to them, I have no idea. But it's a serious problem. I'm just trying to think, like, protecting this part of the galaxy. I have a star relationship, the hands of time, mother of nature, father of time, hands of time. Alexander are my hands of time. Father of time is something different. That was who my intended was. I call him Mark now. But I'm concerned about this Maria Thomas relationship with the Commonwealth and him trying to supplant or do some type of, and their sons' names, James and Michael, that also in problematic because now they're Meghan and Harry in some Harried Potter problem that I keep getting dragged into. I saw that I think it's William and Kate is the other one. That's like, again, there's whatever, but they weren't even holding hands. So it's September 11th, 2022. And that's the pertinent information that I saw so far this morning. But in New York City, they redacted or they retracted that arsenic thing. But the symptoms still remain, although I don't know what form of biotoxin it is.